Before today's video, I wanted to make an announcement. I am going to be raising money for my local children's hospital through Extra Life. This is my 7th year participating in this great cause. I've seen people that I love fight cancer, and no child should have to go through that. I'm going to leave a link in the comments pinned down below, guys. Every dollar helps kids get the care and treatment and comfort that they deserve through the hardest time of their life. So please consider donating and make a difference today. Thank you, guys. You ever notice how whenever a big game underperforms, the company that made it changes the narrative? It's never the game flopped. No, no, no. It's the haters were wrong. We stopped feeding the trolls, and actually, we're thriving. The game landed and was a success, and it made second place on a PlayStation chart. Whatever. It's always a bunch of cope, right? Well, this week, Ubisoft became the new poster child for corporate cope, which is a phrase that I'm going to start using. Corporate cope. Their CEO is out here bragging that Assassin's Creed Shadows was a massive win, and we know it wasn't. They're saying that they beat the trolls, they ignored the hate, but the truth is, guys, their victory cost them 25% of their most valuable IPs, handed directly to Tencent, and sold fewer copies than any mainline Assassin's Creed in modern history. Don't let Matt Pescatella and Colin Moriarty tell you that, though. This isn't a comeback story, guys. It's a cautionary tale about how denial has become Ubisoft's entire brand. It's almost like their strategy. So their leadership, especially the CEO, is claiming that Assassin's Creed Shadows succeeded because they stopped engaging with critics. PC Gamer even wrote this puff piece about this controversy, calling it fake fights, right? Anybody that dared to say anything about it was a fake fight. So the months of online debate, thousands of comments, hundreds of videos dissecting the game's decisions. Like, come on, Ubisoft, you fed that fire every single step of the way. You tried to silence people who are raising valid points, and when that didn't work, they played the ignore the trolls card. That's cope, guys. That's cope-a-cola, because we all covered it. If you're familiar with my channel, we covered the road to Assassin's Creed Shadows and every single nail in the coffin that this company did in regards to it. And let's be honest, guys, when a CEO has to get on video and reassure shareholders that we beat the trolls, that's not confidence. That's literal damage control. They made the CEO get on video and say that we didn't feed the trolls. But here's the one thing that Ubisoft and nobody at Ubisoft wants to admit. You could say that it sold well, that's what they're saying, all you want, but unless you're showing numbers, you're selling a fantasy. And that's the thing, is we're starting to see companies not show numbers. Now, Steam is estimating Assassin's Creed Shadows sit around 700,000 to 800,000 copies. Compare that to Valhalla, which was a wonderful game. I loved Valhalla. That cleared over 12 million. So Steam's estimating they didn't even put a million on Steam. Ubisoft's spin, though, is each copy was worth more. And we talked about that not too long ago. They raised prices. And also collector's editions and all that, they're overpriced now. So because you raised prices by $10, you made more money. You can't brag about higher revenue per unit while also complaining that development costs and inflation are killing the industry here. Pick a lane, guys. It's not a win. Okay? It's basic math wrapped up in PR doublespeak. So you didn't sell as many units, but you made more money. It's because you raised the prices. It doesn't make sense. You're actually hurting the consumer when you do stuff like that. But here's the elephant in the room. A big part of this controversy wasn't about representation, guys. It was about how Ubisoft used it. They pivoted mid-development in 2020 during the height of every major corporation racing to prove how socially aware they were. They wanted to please a vocal minority on social media. Suddenly, Yasuke, who is a real historical figure, became the lead. Now, Yasuke, whatever you want to say about them, I know there's a huge division about it. To me, it's not so much that it was a black character that was the lead. It was the fact that they embellished on his history, that they made him some kind of like actual hero. that they made him some kind of character to pander. They even made him gay in the fucking game, right? It could have worked if they would have did it right, but Ubisoft didn't handle it with depth. They handled it like a DEI checkbox, and of course, that's why people like myself brought up the obvious corporate pandering, and then Ubisoft's defenders labeled everyone who questioned it as racist trolls, which it wasn't. You guys weren't promoting diversity. You were literally manipulating people. When your inclusivity exists only to score Twitter points, players are going to see right through it. And that's why there was so much backlash over this game, to the point where people actually have stopped caring about Assassin's Creed Shadows. The last several videos I've made about this game haven't even done that great because everybody's moved on. Nobody cares about Assassin's Creed Shadows anymore. Nothing to do with the game. And of course, Ubisoft had backup leading out during all that rage, right? They paid influencers who played the game for a few hours and said that the haters are wrong about it, and then they never touched the game again. Even Hassan was one of the people that played Assassin's Creed Shadows. They cashed the check and then they disappeared. They really don't care about diversity and stuff. Meanwhile, the so-called trolls, the people that are actually finishing the game, like myself, I played the game and finished it on stream. I reviewed it honestly. I analyzed it. We're the ones that Ubisoft dismissed. That should tell you everything. So when your defense relies on people who didn't even finish your game, you don't have fans, guys. You basically have marketing interns. And the darkest part of this entire situation is, while Ubisoft is celebrating, quote unquote, winning the argument, they've quietly sold a quarter of their major IPs to Tencent. Let that sink in, guys. A quarter. The company that built Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Watch Dogs, the same Ubisoft that once stood toe-to-toe with EA and Activision, is now a fraction away from being fully owned by China. China, as Trump would say. That's not ignoring trolls. That's losing control. That's literally giving up. So when the CEO of Ubisoft is saying we have to stop feeding the trolls, what he really means is we ran out of answers. They couldn't hold themselves accountable at all to all their fuck ups, all their mistakes. This isn't about trolls. Again, it's about accountability. It's accountability at the end of the day, which Ubisoft has none. And an industry that has gotten way too comfortable pretending Backlash means nothing until the balance sheet proves otherwise. Shareholders, investors, board of directors, they start to get angry, guys. So you can call it coping, you can call it PR, but either way, Assassin's Creed Shadows did not win. It just survived long enough for Ubisoft to pretend that it did. So tell me in the comments, guys. I'll be checking them out. Did Ubisoft really beat the trolls, or are they rewriting the story because they lost the fight? Let me know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like. If you didn't, hit that dislike. Don't forget to hit that subscription, and I will see you on the next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, peace out.